So Christine Hatton and myself, Mary Mooney, will present to you today about, again, a creative ecology. But our work will be framed within the context of teaching relationships with sustained artists in residency projects in New South Wales. So as researchers, we've analysed the material from the Artists in Residence project, and the initiative spanned 3 projects over 3 years with 6 schools. The AIR projects basically 3 secondary schools was one, a K-12 community school, and a primary secondary school was a third project. So the aims are to evaluate the value and effectiveness of input, process and output of those 3 curriculum-aligned projects, and to understand how the residencies built creative and learning capacities of students, teachers and artists in a changing world. So with the first project, which is the project that we're going to focus on today, that project model provides the material for the presentation. It was conceptualised by visual arts teachers from 3 secondary schools in southwest Sydney. They invited 3 highly successful contemporary artists to work with them in each of their schools in each of the 3 years. We pose 4 questions today to frame the conditions for creative ecologies in schools. Firstly, what are these features? We look at engagement by all in the classrooms, the pursuit and process of artistic excellence by all involved, and the freedom to imagine beyond what is safe. The school creative ecology has a systemic relationship to a creative ecological system. The system is identified by the interrelationships of the personal in response to the environment, in which organisational cultures determine dependency, individualism and creativity, and in school through artistic process and creative pedagogical practices.
These projects provided time to connect and engage and deepen the core AIR Arts relationship between artists, teachers and students. It's enabled transformation, empathy, awareness, courage and artistic excellence to flourish in these schools. 9 artists over 3 years, each with diverse practices, artistic sensibilities, stretched students to develop beyond their own imaginative capabilities at the start of the project, and fostered in them new ways of seeing, being and connecting with their school context, but also their local context. The project raised the stakes of arts education in these culturally diverse schools, reframing them as creative and nurturing environments, as spaces of welcome, exploration, experimentation and excellence. As one teacher said, a beautiful space to work in, breathing life and rigour into the curriculum. The sustained engagement with the artists leaves aesthetic, interpersonal and stylistic fingerprints on the people involved, their art making and the physical space of the school. Each of the artists gifted each school with a work of art, and you can see that running through from the students' work to the artwork, to the teachers' artwork that they did alongside the artist. The project generated new ways to weave imaginative connections between self, story, place and culture. Who are you? What do you see? Where are we? What can we use? What is the word for water in your language? Reciprocity between artists and teachers grew through the many opportunities for rich ongoing professional development. This ignited personal, artistic and professional renewal for teachers, a chance to reclaim their own arts practice as artists and arts educators. There is a depth here to the relationships in a sustained model of artists in residence. This depth is aesthetic, it's conceptual, technical, perceptual, personal and relational. Deep relationships support the growth and responsiveness of the creative ecology, so it's responsive to both change and challenge. This initiative shows us the layers and the system of a creative ecology at work, where enhanced engagement, deep relationships and artistic excellence and teacher renewal were some of the many outcomes evident over the 3 years. The reciprocity of practice between teachers as artists and artists as teachers support and enable the students to imagine themselves as artists and agents in a changing world. For the student body, the artist embodies possibility and aspiration. Sustained access to artists opens up possible futures and pathways for students that were previously out of reach or unthinkable to be an artist as well and come back as an artist to the same program. Creative ecologies thrive on acts of courage, transformation and renewal. The system is stronger when each layer of the ecology is activated through multiple creative relationships.
Fresh Air generated a creative ecology with rich relationships and the learning raised the stakes of engagement, aspiration and excellence for all the participants, students, teachers and artists. That spark of wow stretches the boundaries of perception and difference. That's the students' work, based on one of the artists. We conclude with the words of one Fresh Air student who said, "Art is like a muscle. It needs exercise to be strong."